Well, well, well. It's time again. Here we go. The new Star Force system has made it so that players have literally, well, I guess at least one player has literally opened an opened letter to Inkwell and Team GMS. At least that's what I think this is about, mostly the new Star Force system. I could be wrong. I haven't read the full thing yet, but let's check it out. Because I think a lot of people are not liking the new Star Force system, and I've been saying it ever since Korea Maple got it implemented like 6 months ago, or actually I think it was even longer. GMS waited a longer time to implement it than other regions because they wanted to give us like the new pitch pity system and stuff like that, but apparently it's not good enough. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what this is all about. I'm curious, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it. Let's get started. Alright, so the first point is, well, he's talking to the director and the team GMS. Global Maplestory is currently experiencing a historic surge in interest. Right, I did see that the Steam charts were the highest it's ever been, but we are facing a crisis of sustainability. Your internal data likely confirms what the community feels. A significant portion of our player base, upwards of 50%, quits within 30 to 60 days of a major patch. We're not writing. Oh, so there's a team behind this. We are not writing this out of a desire to complain, but out of a desire to see the game thrive. To do that, we must address the systematic issues that make GMS feel less like a hobby and more like a series of predatory hurdles. Jeez! Predatory hurdles? Gulp. Let's check it out. This just got interesting. The Endgame progression crisis. Luck vs. effort. The most significant issue in global Maplestory, specifically within Heroic Worlds, oh boy, I'm sure this is gonna rile up the comments, is that effort does not correlate with power. This is the primary reason why veteran players burn out and why mid-game players quit before reaching the finish line. Endgame progression, luck versus effort. Ah, so he's basically talking about, this is something I've been seeing for a while now, and part of the reason why I don't personally play Heroic World, although, I don't know, I've seen some pretty crazy people in Heroic World, like, in terms of, they're like clearing the Destiny missions and stuff, but, yeah, basically he's saying here, like if you take two people, they are both, let's say, in this hypothetical situation, an endgame player level 295. Both players spend the same amount of time grinding to 295. They have the same exact boss mule setup, same amount of miso, week in, week out. They clear the same bosses. Everything is exactly the same. And they play the same class. Yet one person, let's say person A, is 40% stronger, or maybe 30%, than person B. Yet they play the same amount, they have the same amount of everything, they do absolutely everything the same. Well, person A just got lucky. Because when you play an Iron Man reboot, no trading server, and you have to earn it yourself, right? It's all luck based. It's RNG. Do you get the drop? Yes. Do you success on it with star forcing? No. It blows up? Well, guess what? You have to get the drop again. And I think not enough time has passed since the pity system has been implemented for people to kind of enjoy it, or like, not necessarily enjoy it, but like, you know, really have it sink in how much better it is with it. Could it be better? Absolutely. I'm sure they talk about this, but let's check it out before I go off the rails here. The waiting room and devaluation of time. Wah wah. In heroic, non-trading environment, progression is entirely dependent on spares. Okay. Currently, the endgame has become a waiting room. Player can farm 40 hours a week, clear every boss perfectly, and remain stagnant for 6 months because they didn't get a lucky drop. Meanwhile, player. Oh, so that's basically what I was saying, right? Like, two people, they do the same exact things. One person gets lucky, one person doesn't get bodied. I mean, when a game stops rewarding hard work and starts rewarding pure variance, the incentive to try hard vanishes. This is a fundamental design flaw. This is a fundamental design flaw with Maplestory in general. And when you take away the trading aspect of the game, and as you all know, our game is very heavily influenced and balanced around Korea Maple, where they quite literally removed the Heroic World servers over there. Not saying that was a good thing, but the game has always had time gates on bosses. Ever since Zakum Populatus days, it's been 2 bosses, 2 Zakums a day, 2 Populatus a day. And then eventually they went with the weekly route, like 1 boss a week, this boss a week. It's a design flaw with Maplestory in general that you can only kill the boss X amount of times. The reason that Iron Man even works at all in Maplestory, the reason Heroic World works at all, is because of all the benefits that it has. Imagine if the benefits weren't there and you were paying, you were paying the same price as Interactive World for everything, or like the boss crystals were the same and the NPC stuff was the same, the miso drops were the same, which is what actually KMS did before removing the server entirely, and KMS Reboot went from like 2nd to Baron because they removed all like the benefits, right? And they basically screwed it over. So even with all those benefits, yeah, Heroic World, you get screwed over by the time gate on bosses. And I don't think that should be a surprise to anybody, but yeah, when you can only kill something once a week and you need like a 1% or what is it, 2% chance of getting an item drop, it makes sense. The negative progression trap. Star forcing rare gear in GMS is one of the only experiences in modern gaming where a player can sit down for a session and end up weaker than when they started. Now, this is actually true. The impact. Uh-oh. A pitch boss item represents months of anticipation. A 2% boom chance doesn't just destroy an item, it deletes months of a human being's life. Oh my. This creates a quit point illogical person saying 200 hours of work deleted in seconds will often choose to stop playing. Oh my god. Guys, if this is how you see it, you gotta log off. You gotta log off. God damn. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! This issue does not exist in servers, capital S, where you can simply buy another spare off the auction house. Reboot's inability to trade or buy spares prevents player from making meaningful progression. You know what's funny? Is we have this option in Interactive World, Yet, not a single one of my equips are 23 star. Not a single one. Yet, on reboots, I see tons of people with 23 to 25, even 27, 28 star I've seen on some items. Now, I think, okay, not to be like, don't get me wrong, this is bad in reboot, but for them to say simply buy a spear off the auction house, you have to really think about what it actually takes to buy one. Especially as a free-to-play player, because believe it or not, maybe 75, probably even higher, maybe I want to say 75 to 85% of the players, if I had to guess, now I could be wrong, don't just buy miso or are free to play, like not necessarily free to play, but they don't buy miso with money, right? So for you to farm a spare, let's say a berserk. A berserk was selling for 10 to 11 bill clean in the auction house. How hard is it to get 10 and 11 bill in GMS Interactive World? Even with frenzy farming, you can farm 400 to 500 mil per hour at Tallyhard, assuming you have, you know, like everything you need. You know, you're talking like 20 plus hours just for the spare. And I don't want to make it too much about Interactive World, because, you know, they're talking about reboot here, but I just want to, you know, put some insight on this, like, and on top of that, you know, you need the actual miso still to Star Force, which is, you know, multiple billions, like when you actually, like, success, fail, destroyed. And then you need to spend a shit ton on the potentials, way more than in reboot, like for the main pot and bonus pot. So it's not as simple as a lot of people make it out to be. I just want to throw that in there. Complexity versus quality of life. The Golux model. Golux? I like Golux. Let's see what they have to say about that. To address this concern, Nexon has introduced complex systems like star specs and trace restore to solve the boom problem, but these systems are mathematically discouraged. What's complex about this? Okay, let's see here. The failure of complexity. Based on current acquisition rates, restoring a single item can take 15 to 18 weeks. To hit 24 or 25 stars, player needs dozens of spares. The math for a full set of endgame gear under this system extends into years, if not decades. Well, look, 25 stars is not intended. 25 stars is how 23 star used to be. And they have came out and said that 23 star was not intended, so 25 star technically isn't intended. But yes, they want you to push as a, if you're endgame, they want you to push past it to go for 23 to 25 stars. So I get what they're saying here. But what about to hit 22 star? Because I still feel like full 22 star, for the most part, is good enough for almost everything. Obviously, not like extreme calling, extreme. What's the new boss coming out? First adversary. So I get what where they're coming from. But 15 to 18 weeks. I mean, I've heard many times where people have taken 3 years to get a drop. 3 years. That's 150 plus weeks, right? This is a 10x improvement already. But you do still need to get the drop, because this is only to restore it. So I do understand that. But this is still a huge improvement. Don't get it twisted. We already have a perfect model in the game, Golux. Hey, he seems to agree. If you kill the boss and aren't lucky enough to get the drop, you get coins. This makes every run feel like meaningful progress. In 3 weeks, I know I will have my item. We don't need RNG boxes or cap spec systems. Simply token-based P systems. Well, that's what this is. Now, the star spec boxes, yes, are RNG, because sometimes you need 500, sometimes you need 800. I get that. But the point system is not RNG. You choose which missions you want to do, and it tells you how many points you're gonna get. So, at least one of the systems is already there. It already works exactly the same as Golux. It's just not every 3 weeks, it's every 15 to 18 weeks, which I do think this could be improved, but this is definitely still already an improvement, like I said. The enhancement cage. Oh boy, now he's getting locked up in a cage? Let's check this out. Because of the new SSF system, we are penalized for tapping off event. Oh yes, this I agree with. Alright, let me finish before. Okay. With these events being spaced 6 to 10 weeks apart, players are forced to hoard life savings and wait. This puts an unhealthy amount of pressure on a single day. If you are unlucky on that one Sunday, you are caged. Locked in a cage for another 2 months. Am I a prisoner? You want players to quit a game? You want them? Make them feel like they wasted time and effort just because of bad RNG. Wow. Alright, let's check out his request. Match like KMS did with bi-weekly Star Force events without us having to wait 6 months for these changes, reducing the stakes for each individual session, make the game feel more like a journey, especially because we have heroic servers. Now, I want to make this clear. KMS only did this in Challenger World because Challenger World is very limited. It's like a limited thing. But I do agree it should be bi-weekly. Because the way Star Force events worked before is it really only saved you miso. So it was, 5, 10, 15, 30% off. Like, you could still safeguard the 17 star before. Obviously, now you can do it to 18. But, like, it just saved you miso. Now the Star Force event, it doesn't only save you miso, it saves you booms. And especially, like he says, on Heroic World, where spares are very, very precious, because you have to wait 15 to 16 weeks to get a restore. And on Interactive World, we have to farm hundreds of hours, or dozens of hours, potentially, to get a spare. You are literally making it take, I guess, technically speaking, 30% more spares, 30% more miso to buy the spares if you do it off event, which is just cancer, mate. Like, you saw, I'm sure many people saw where, like, you would get a eternal piece after 5 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever, and by then, especially in Heroic, you'd have way more than enough miso to get a result. 22 or boom, or whatever star you're going for. Now, it's not like that. Now, if you get it, you have a 30% higher chance that it will boom if you do it off event. So I think the new event is definitely, like, obviously it's good, but absolutely having to wait for the event, I mean, I guess technically you don't absolutely have to, but you're throwing so hard. It's cringe. Do I think they'll change it personally? Nah, they want you in purgatory, brother. Alright, let's check it out. Oh, we got Chapter 2. The Retention Wall. Early and mid-game hurdles. Now, it's funny that he says this, because I swear to God there's a video on YouTube talking about how it's so easy to get to, like, you progress fast into Endgame. I could be wrong on this. But I swear there's a video on that. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm too lazy to look. But anyways, let's see what he says. While the end game is a lottery, the early game is a series of unnecessary restrictions that drive new players away before they can even see the pitched waiting room. Interesting. The rental gear time trap. Really? People have a problem with the rental gear? I feel like this was one of the good things that came out of this update, but I guess not. Let's check it out. The rental gear system is an excellent addition. Oh, okay. But the 24-hour expiration is illogical. For a player with a full-time job, rental gear often expires before they can log back in for a second session. Interesting. Extended to 3 to 7 days. Furthermore, new players quit because they spend their first 30 days just trying to make Miso drop gear. Including these stats in the rental system will allow them to actually experience the game's content and build their permanent sets. I mean, if they make rental gear 7 days, like, why would you ever want to make any gear? Like, that rental gear is actually really powerful, and if you can just keep renting it for like 100 mil or whatever it is, 200 mil every week, why would you get any gear for a long time? I don't know. I definitely like it, but I definitely think it shouldn't cost Maple points after your first buy. Like, I think the 1 day expiration is fine, but you should be able to keep buying it with Miso. Or maybe it gets like more expensive with Miso or something. Like if you buy it once, it's 100 mil, twice 150 mil, something like that. I don't know. Because I think if they make it too OP, you're just going to use that for forever almost. For so long you use that gear. Vac Pet gating. Vac Pets being on a 6-month rotation in Cash Shop semi-fix the limited availability of Vac Pets originally stated above. The issue with having to continually purchase new Vac Pets for $100 if a character doesn't share CS is still a massive issue, and they're potentially continue without rolling out the Universal Cash Shop. I see. So I personally believe we will get Universal Cash Shop. Like, if you have to think about, like, TMS and KMS and Maple C, like, they make a lot of money for Nexon, and they have it. I think we will too. It's just that Team GMS is bad, and they take forever to implement stuff. And, yeah, this I can see this happening in February or March. Now, if I'm wrong, you know, you can throw me under the bus. Chapter 3, Monetization, the Problem Solution Model. Oh, I already know what this is going to be about. We have noticed a shift where gameplay friction is created specifically so a solution can be sold in the cash shop. Well, there you go. This is the Chang Sup way. And it makes me feel bad. Like, I'm not even logged into the game. I barely play GMS these days. In fact, I'm over here salvaging on OSRS, 44 mil sailing XP. You know how it is. I don't log into the game because I think they're ruining it, especially for free-to-play players, and quite honestly, Heroic. It's really gone downhill. The cash shop sucks. They have this mantra of go west, and like, yeah, we always like copy KMS, like it's expected, but when they come out and say like go west, and then they just implement dog shit updates from KMS anyway, it doesn't make me feel like playing the game. It doesn't make me feel like a good time, and I don't have fun playing these days. I really don't, for the most part. Like, I like logging in, doing, you know, weekly bosses with some of my friends and stuff, and people I've met on the game, and I don't know, man. It's just not fun playing, like, wanting to play the game. I don't come home anymore wanting to play the game like I used to. I just don't. Mostly because of this. Alright, let's see. SIA Premium Pass. Yeah, this is trash. Releasing the first GMS exclusive class and paywalling its event. Yeah, normally the events are just free, like every other, but if this is what GMS exclusive means, I'll go east. See, they say go west, GMS exclusive class, GMS exclusive event for the GMS exclusive class, locked behind, what was it, like $50? Bastards. GMS tax. How is that a color prism? Oh, this. See, this is what really gets me. A color prism, $7 direct purchase in KMS, but in GMS RNG gamble, $60 Mystic boxes. And if you think that is bad, they recently added this thing where you open a box and you get a random amount of feathers, and you need like 80 feathers for this stupid thing that it's not a stupid thing. It's a coupon that makes a female item a male item, or a male item a female item. And in KMS, they just added that gender change item coupon, or whatever it's called, for 5.5k NX. You just buy it in the cash shop, added permanently. But GMS adds these boxes that are only there for a limited amount of time, and you get a random amount of feathers, and on average, with average luck, it costs 85k NX for one fucking coupon, man. What the fuck is that? And then you don't even have unlimited time to buy the feathers, because they only sell them for a couple of weeks, and now those boxes are gone, and you can't even get it anymore. Oh, and like that's like my favorite thing in Maplestory is going for cosmetics. I have so many things. I love collecting all the like master label sets. I like collecting some of the, what are the like crossover stuff. But now I just can't do that, because if I go in the auction house and I want to buy these stupid new master label sets, because they're locked behind these mythic boxes, they're like 30 billion for boots, and then it's like I have to get the overall, the boots, the weapon. It's like, dude, I'm not gonna sit there and farm all those misos. Fuck me. AFK Luxana. Oh, okay, this is absolute garbage. Adding this into Heroic basically defeats what Reboot is all about. This is what I've been saying. And I could be wrong in this. And I'm not trying to like downplay anybody here. But just to show you guys how ridiculous this can get, is, okay, again, I'm not trying to like downplay anybody, I'm not trying to be mean. I understand why people do this, but look, you have the rank 1 guy in Reboot getting like, I don't know, I guess at this point he kind of stopped buying them, but look at how much he's getting with the sauna, right? And this guy, I believe this guy streams like 24/7, and he's like completely free to play. And look at how much he's getting without like buying the sauna. It's a massive, it's like a massive difference. And it's like, you know, almost 1.5xing him. Like, that's crazy. It makes no sense to be in Reboot at all. They need to remove that, but they just won't. Greedy bastards. So yeah, we essentially handicapped interactive without trading. Whoa. Hey. Interactive world and GMS is a handicapped interactive world, I'll tell you that much. So if he feels this way, then Heroic World must be really bad. Chapter 4. Holy crap, there's a lot of chapters. Transparency and the trust deficit. Finally. Oh, the final chapter. We must address the culture of unintentional changes. The recent Arcane Absolab box nerf, which was fixed after community outcries, significant hit to player trust. Oh, I made a video on that. Whether it was an accident or not, when core progression rates are changed silently the moment the item becomes tradable, looks like deliberate throttle on player power. History of broken rates does not favor the developer. We need to commitment to. Total transparency. If a rate has changed, it must be in the patch notes. True. Universal Cash Shop. The Universal Cash Shop has already been implemented in all other regions. It's absent in GMS, creates toxic community environment, and the lack of communication only makes it worse. Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. How long? You have to wait like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and then they're like, oh, yeah, we've been doing this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, really? Have you? If it is GMS decision to not include it, own up to it, and just tell people, yeah, like, it's better to say, like, this shit isn't happening because we don't want to do it. Even if their intention of not doing it is bad, which the worst thing they could do is come out and say, oh, we don't want Universal Cash Out because it hurts sales. That would make them look bad. But at the very least, we do not be sitting there for 3 months like, are we going to get it? 5 months, are we going to get it? 6 months, are we going to get it? Are we going to get it? When is it going to happen? And da-da-da-da-da-da. I do think we will get it. Just to reiterate that, I know I said it earlier, but, like, come on. Like, just be like, yeah, we're implementing it. Team GMS, we just kind of suck booty cheeks over here. We're taking a while to implement it because GMS code sucks cock. You know, like, say something. But yeah. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And, I want to throw this out about the boxes. A lot of people think that the box drop rate has to do with it kind of copying interactive code. They actually changed the boxes on Interactive World as well with the update. So I do kind of think they just kind of lazily copied that, or maybe they shadow nerfed it on purpose. They copied it over on purpose. Because the boxes on Interactive World were untradeable. Like, you couldn't put them in storage and stuff. So then after the update, it became transferable in storage. So I'm assuming they either intentionally or unintentionally made it the same drop rate as Interactive, which is lower than Heroic. I believe Heroic's supposed to have like a 5x drop rate on that stuff. I could be wrong. I don't know. Conclusion! I want to be part of the 50% that stays. Stays where? Oh, like in the game? Not the 50% that leaves, but Heroic GMS cannot survive as a lottery simulator. Wow! Where players pay for the privilege of having their progress deleted with no meaningful way to progress in the game. Our request is simple. Reward effort, not just luck. Simplify the pity systems or adjust the rates and remove the caps. Increase the frequency of enhancement events and stop creating paywalls for basic gameplay functionality. Respect our time, and we will continue to invest in the future of GMS. Sincerely, a frustrated 20-year-long player who boomed all their gear. Well, you're probably part of the 50% that's leaving. It looks like all your gear is gone. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. I'm not going to read the comments. I can only imagine that it's probably just Heroic versus Interactive World, because a lot of these problems... Maybe I'll read the first comment. Let's see what it... by a moderator. Uh-oh. I also take a chance that 95 problems you list also applies to Interactive. Alright, that's as far as I'm going. Yeah, I do agree. Like, this is a problem with GMS as total. Because remember, the new Star Force system is balanced around KMS Interactive World, not GMS Interactive World. GMS Interactive World is not KMS Interactive World, much like GMS Heroic is not KMS Interactive World. So yeah, we're paying, just to give you an example, going back to the Berserk, it costs us roughly 3 times more for a clean Berserk in Miso that KMS gets. But KMS gets much higher Miso from their boss crystals than GMS, which is where most of the Miso actually comes from in the game rather than farming. Yes, GMS has Frenzy, farming, etc., but Frenzy is very limited. I'm not going to get into that. But yes, these problems are also in Interactive World. So I think we should fight for this for both servers. So I agree with the points and where it's coming from. Let me know what you guys think. That's all for today.